Right, hello, how are you doing? Today I got something like slightly different to what I would normally post on this channel. Not like there's a theme to the stuff I put on this channel anyway, but you get the idea. I went through and found a load of my old sports videos, like so football and American football, and realised there's some interesting stories behind them. So I just thought I'd like show you the videos, talk through the stories, and yeah, because some of them are quite interesting, like good experiences and all that. So yeah. Right, so we'll start with the first one. It's a free kick in a cup final. I think this was the London Cup final. It was like under 17s, I think it was. We went on to lose the cup final. That's largely irrelevant to the ego trip I'm going to be on for this video. I think it was 1-1 at the time, and we had a free kick on the edge of the box. I was putting the ball down, and the referee said to me, he was like, I'd go to the right hand side. I was like, yeah, cheers mate. And I looked at the goalkeeper's positioning, saw the goal mouth like bobbly and stuff, and I was like, do you know what, actually do it. It didn't come off how I wanted it. I was aiming for the top corner and I completely missed it, but it ended up bobbling through the area, skipped up off the post and into the back of the net, which is brilliant. The other thing from that game was that I actually broke my foot in that game. I turned someone earlier in the match, and as they'd gone to tackle me, they'd stamped on my foot, probably by accident, maybe not, like, never know now. So I ended up playing like a lot of the game with my foot like quite bad and like unable to sprint. I came off straight after I took this free kick because like I literally couldn't move anymore. But yeah, I was still quite happy I managed to actually score a goal in the cup final. Good. Right, moving on to the second clip, you'll see it's just a normal penalty. But the backstory behind this one is that in the seasons and seasons beforehand, I never used to miss penalties, and in this year I had an absolutely horrendous luck, if you want to call it, but I just couldn't score many to save my life. There was one, I used to play football for my sixth form, and we played the National Cup game once. We went all the way to Norwich. I didn't get on until like the 119th minute, came on, smacked a penalty, probably smacked it from Norwich back down to here. In terms of my confidence, it was pretty shot at that point, so that was quite a big one for me to be able to put that actually into the goal.
Yes.
Right, okay, so this third clip, a bit longer than the other ones. It's from a six-a-side game. I played the ball through to Harry, gets cut out, ball ends up coming back to me, and that's a brilliant finish out. Listen to that sound, right?
Why is it more than one ball?
So in the years I was at sixth form, me and my mates, we created a six-a-side team, obviously, and for a period of time we brought a camera and started recording our games and uploading them to YouTube. If you look up BBB United, a lot of our games are still there, so if you get bored and want to kill a bit of time watching horrendous football, then there you go, that's where you should go. We didn't do that well, like I think we had a few more fights than we probably should have, considered it was a local six-a-side league.
Oh, he fell over. Yes, Alex. Was that Alex? Yeah, that was Alex. Alex again. Alex, why is it more than one ball?
Oh god, this next one, this is from years back. Yeah, wow. So, that was from a five-a-side tournament run by the FA called the People's Cup. That was free to enter at the time. I think I saw it just as an advert one day and put it forward to the manager of the team I was playing for back then, and we entered it, and we got through the preliminary round, and this was the final of the regional round, and the winners of that went on to play in the national finals, Birmingham. Yeah, so I sort of got the ball and just smacked one top bins. And it ended up working its way onto the BBC Sport website, because they were actually covering the event. And that post I had, I'll try and find it now. If I have, you'll see it somewhere on screen. Yeah, it made my week, made my month. Like, it was incredible to see like a BBC journalist who's being paid for this has had to sit there and watch like an under-16s five-a-side match, and then actually wrote that about the event. Yeah, that was an incredible time. we've moved on to the last of the football clips. This one's a bit more recent for me. It's actually my first goal in men's senior football, so it's quite a special one for me. I'd left playing Sunday football earlier in that season. The team I went to play for, the team in green you see there, Waltham Abbey. This game actually occurred before I'd had the diagnosis on my foot. So as a right-footed player, not being able to push off my right foot or kick my right foot was a bit of a problem for most of that game. But yeah, like our attacking mid got played through. He cut the ball back to me, and I didn't even see where the keeper was. I was like, I can't transfer this onto my right foot. I was going to swing my left foot here. Luckily, got underneath, and the keeper was just coming out, and it's just nestled beautifully in the back of the net. It wasn't really that much celebration because we'd already won the league at that point, and we was only playing with like 11 players. I think we had a goalkeeper at right wing, so yeah, I was just, in the big reaction I was expecting. There was nothing. There was a few high fives, and well done, mate. And that was about it, really.
Go, George! Set me! Get in! Yeah!
Right, okay, so we're actually going to move away from the football side of things, because when I first went to Loughborough, I tried out for their football teams, and I didn't get in. So I sort of decided it was time to try a new path, try a different sport. I ended up with American football that I had a passing interest in anyway. But this year it's just like grown massive. And being able to actually play games this year was incredible. So let's start off with my first ever touchdown in a game. Yes, that's Abby throwing me the ball. We were playing Staffs. It's another video on my channel. Yeah, you'll see I take off on a wheel route and get thrown the ball in behind the covering defender, and so later in that same game, I actually got my first rushing touchdown as well. So you see from all the way back here, that's about like 35-40 yards out, catch the ball on the toss and just absolutely just got hammed down the line. There was a cornerback facing me off. I looked at him, looked to the outside, and thought to myself, yeah, this is going all the way, because I knew I had the wheels on him around the outside. That game was interesting because the first one I actually got some reps in, and managed to score some touchdowns. So it was a great feeling for me. Like, all the boys are happy for me, happy for the whole team. We ended up winning the game. We should have won it anyway because we're a better team than they are. Yeah, if you want to go and see more highlights from that game, or whatever, just go and look at his Staff's vlog. Right, okay, so this one actually came from my first proper start in a game, in an actual league game. That was my first touchdown in the league. There wasn't a friendly like against Staffs. Yeah, and I wanted to catch the ball on the toss, some decent blocks, and then I found my way into the end zone. I was only like, what, 4 yards out? Doesn't matter. The funny thing about that previous game was I'd only just started kicking, and I got told during the week that I was going to be kicking. So field goals and PATs. So I was mainly preparing myself all week and being like, okay, at least on the sideline, I'll be able to like prepare before I need to go on. Get in the locker room beforehand. Oh, by the way, like you're starting at A-back. I was like, right, okay. So I had to completely put myself in a different mindset, but sort of go out and to do that, like sort of really calm me down a little bit. We started off that game brilliantly. Like James caught a touchdown really early in the game, like first play or something. And then on a second drive that happened, and yeah, it just sort of settled all nerves, and I just ended up having a pretty decent game out of that one actually. So speaking of the kicking, I haven't put any PATs in here because that's just like boring. It's like what the 17, 18, 19 yard kick. I can't remember what I'm kicking from, but whatever. So this one, I'll pick this one out as my first field goal. It's from about 32 or 33 yards. I genuinely thought this had missed at the time. Like if you look at the actual video, like there was borderline no follow through in my kick, and it just barely scrapes over the crossbar. And if I'm honest, like I didn't actually think it went over. All my mates are jumping around me. I'm like, wait, let's just see what the ref says. And then they come forward. Like I was like, I can get happy now. Like That was the first one made, hopefully the first of many, like coming up to this next year, like being able to actually have a bit more practice kick in and sort of knowing what I'm going to be doing this year. Should be better, should be better. Right then, if we move on to the last clip that I brought, I actually lied when I said I didn't have any PATs here because I did have one. This was from a playoff game against Liverpool John Moores, and a really terrible game for us. Like, I think I'd been at home all week because I'd had mumps. Don't get mumps; it's very painful. So I didn't start that game, and I knew I was only kicking. And or did we? No, they scored first off of a defensive touchdown, I think it was. And then we sort of had a really long drive and managed to get the ball in the end zone. So it's currently tied up 6-6. And I come on, the borderline game-winning PAT, and yeah, so the ball gets snapped. I think one of their defenders jumps offside. Yeah, there we go. I fluff my run up, and somehow this ball gets through that gap of players. I have no idea how it did. It did. It went through, and we won 7-6. And on the bus back from Liverpool to Loughborough, like the 2-hour ride or whatever it was a nice feeling knowing that technically I won us that game. Yeah. Right, cool, so that's going to wrap it up for another video. If you want me to do more of these like sort of talking, analysing type videos, then just click like on the video, because it's the best way for me to know that you lot that are watching this are actually enjoying this type of content. If not, you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments, that's what it's for. Yeah, nothing else to say, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.